This is your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Dr. Don's Weather is made possible by the Randolph County Commission, Heron's Tree Service, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Waite Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, and Bama Diesel Repair. From the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Southern Union State Community College, and the venue at 5 Points Farms. Here's Dr. Don.
Good morning, East Alabama to West Georgia. Welcome to your weekend. It is high school football regular season. In East Alabama, we start week 2 over in Georgia, so we're looking forward to some great football tonight. We'll give you the forecast and tell you what to expect this evening coming up in this morning's edition of your primetime forecast, brought to you by these fine folks at Bama Diesel Repair in Woodland, Alabama. Mr. Mark Mitchell. If you have diesel repair needs, you want to get in touch with them at 256-201-3685. Give them a call today. And this guy right here, it's Jamie Dukas. You can save money with Alpha Insurance. Barn Dominiums, that's the new thing. And this guy right here can handle that for you. It's hard to get insurance on barn dominiums, but Jamie Dukas can do it. He knows how to get the insurance you need. So especially if you're in a tough spot and you're having a hard time getting insurance on barn dominiums or anything as far as that's concerned, you owe it to yourself to at least give Jamie a chance. It's easy to do. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen, give him a call at 256-831-7770 or click the link at the top of the video to find out how much money Jamie can save you at Alpha Insurance. Get in touch with Jamie today. Also, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, and that little bell, so if we have to go live for severe weather like we did last night, you'll be guaranteed to get that notification. We had a big, strong thunderstorm up in northern Clay County that went severe on us yesterday afternoon. Didn't last long, though. No real big major deal. So for today, just general scattered thunder is possible across Alabama and Georgia. Not likely. Most of you won't see a drop of rain today, but there is at least a chance that we could see a few thunderstorms this afternoon. And then on Saturday, we're looking at a marginal risk across Tennessee, extreme north Alabama, Mississippi, back over toward Georgia, and then across the Carolinas as well. So if you're going to be on the vacay up here in the North Georgia mountains, you may have to dodge a thunderstorm or two on Saturday. And then on Sunday, that marginal risk will hang on up there in northeast Georgia and across the Carolinas, but across East Alabama and West Georgia, just general scattered thunderstorms. The big deal over the weekend is going to be the heat, and we do have an excessive heat situation setting up today. We have an excessive heat warning across West Alabama and heat advisory across East Alabama and West Georgia. If you're headed to high school football tonight, you're going to want to probably wait, especially if you're going to be at a stadium that faces the west. If you're going to be sitting on that side of the football field, you probably want to wait until the last minute to go in the stadium so you're not sitting in that bright sunshine the whole time. Now, we've got several ball games around the area. Handling will be down at Valley tonight, and then Randolph County is going to be at home in a jamboree. Wadley will be playing tonight, and so will Woodland. So it's going to be hot everywhere. So you're going to want to make sure you take those precautionary measures, drink plenty of water at those ball games, and keep yourself hydrated during this heat. Yeah, and it doesn't stop today either. We're looking at temperatures tomorrow again with heat index values of 105 plus. Folks, it's just hot. I mean, the humidity's through the roof, and then it's going to feel like 105 degrees or hotter all across East Alabama and West Georgia today and again tomorrow afternoon. So we've got a couple of areas to look at out in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. Really only one of them, though, is potentially an issue for our weather across the southeastern United States. And for the moment, at least, it looks like this will be more of a Florida and South Georgia event. Understand it has not even developed yet, so media is just going crazy with this thing because this is the first real threat of the season, and so they're playing this one to the hilt. But understand, folks, this has not even developed yet, and right now there's no way for anybody with any great certainty to tell you how big it's going to grow, even if it's going to grow at all, and exactly where it's going to go, though I think the National Hurricane Center has a pretty decent track on this. If and when it does develop, we're talking about moving right across the Big Bend area of Florida, maybe extreme southern Georgia, and then back out into the Atlantic somewhere around Brunswick, Savannah, or Hilton Head, maybe Charleston, and then up the eastern seaboard. And we're probably not looking at much more than a depression or a strong tropical storm, though I guess hurricane category status 1 is possible. It doesn't look likely because there's just not going to be enough time between formation and landfall in Florida for it to grow into a hurricane. So a lot of rain may be on the way, though, for Florida, basically from Tampa north and up into maybe southern Alabama, southern Georgia, up into the Carolinas. Not sure we see anything across East Alabama or West Georgia from this system. If it develops the way the models tell us it's going to. But again, as we get into tropical season and we start getting these systems that come close to the U.S., take those long-range models with a grain of salt. They are certainly not perfect. As a matter of fact, they're only about 50-50 at being right. So, just use it for overall general knowledge that something's going to take place down there, and it may or may not affect us across East Alabama and West Georgia. Yeah, Franklin, not an issue. Franklin's going to go north, and those other two areas you see out there in the middle of the Atlantic will not affect us across the southeastern United States. That red mess down in the Gulf is the only one we got to pay attention to, and we will do that for you here on Dr. Don's Weather. Current conditions at the venue at 5 Points Farms, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies, wind out of the west at 2, gusting to about 4 miles per hour. The humidity is 97%, the barometric pressure 30.00, 72-degree dew point. No rain officially at the venue, though you folks up there northwest Clay County and up into southwest Cleburne and eastern Talladega did get a pretty heavy thunder shower yesterday afternoon. 92 was the high yesterday. Sunrise this morning at 6:10. Sun sets this evening at 7:16 p.m. Headed for 93 in the afternoon in Roanoke, 94 in Ashland, Lineville, Wedowee, Ranburne 93. LaGrange will make it to 95. We'll top out at Valley this afternoon around 95 degrees for that Hanley Valley ball game, which will kick off at 7 p.m. Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, down at Ram Stadium in Valley this evening. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. We're going to give you about a 10% chance of a scattered afternoon thunderstorm today and again tonight. So that's a very, very small chance. Typically, we don't even put that on the forecast. It's such a small chance, but since we do have high school football kicking off this evening, I thought we'd throw that in there and let you know that though it's not likely, we cannot rule out the possibility of a stray shower or thunderstorm or two this evening. It's going to be hot, though. Any way you look at it, it's going to be very hot this afternoon and through most of the ball games this evening. So, do what you got to do to stay hydrated this evening. 93 will be your high temperature today. That's actual temperature. Heat index values will hit 105 plus degrees. For Saturday, another hot day on the way, 95 in the afternoon. Again, maybe a 10% chance of a shower on Saturday. Then on Sunday, our rain chances will start to increase. We're looking at hot conditions at 94 and a 40% chance of an afternoon storm. That'll linger into the evening hours. And look at Monday. Here comes a front, and we're going to give you an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Monday. Don't think we're looking at a severe setup here, but we're going to keep an eye on that for you. And the high temperature, that's the big deal, 89. I mean, this is going to feel like fall time. And then on Tuesday, 60% chance of rain, 82. That'll be nice. And on Wednesday, a 30% chance of rain, 85. Now, this is not taking into consideration what may or may not develop in the Gulf of Mexico. So while I think this is a good forecast, understand that our forecast could change drastically depending on what actually ends up happening in the Gulf of Mexico as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Here's your Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar this morning, showing rain up there north of Richmond, Virginia, up around Philadelphia. We've got some more rain around just to the west of Madison, Wisconsin. Nothing really happening across the southeastern United States. All eyes are on this big red blob down in the Gulf of Mexico and stretching back down into the Caribbean. So this is northwest Caribbean Sea in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, a broad area of low pressure over the northwestern Caribbean Sea near the northeastern coast of Honduras is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system during the next several days, and a tropical depression is likely to form late this weekend, early part of next week, moving generally to the northeast over the northwestern Caribbean Sea and eastern Gulf of Mexico. Interest in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, western Cuba, and Florida should monitor the progress of the system. The Hurricane Center is giving this like a 70% chance of formation over the next 5 to 7 days. So they're pretty confident this is going to happen, and you'll see by looking at the screen where they expect it to go. If you come right up through the center of this big red blob here, it's going to put it making landfall somewhere in the Big Bend area of Florida and probably continuing on off to the northeast. So I'm thinking maybe Valdosta, maybe back over toward Brunswick, maybe up there in Savannah, and then back out into the open waters of the Atlantic. Now, that's going to be close enough maybe to increase our rain chances a bit, but understand you'll be on the left side of this system, so that's where the calmness weather will be. The nastiness is always around the center and to the right of the storm, and the storm will pass to our east, so should not be a big deal for East Alabama, West Georgia, even North Georgia, but we're going to keep an eye on this thing for you, and we'll change the forecast as necessary if and when this does develop out there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at DrDonWX.com. Be sure you text the word ALERT to 265-540-8664 if you live in Randolph County, Alabama. So you'll get those alerts. You get weather information and local emergency information from the Randolph County Commission. It's called HyperReach. Again, text the word ALERT to 265-540-8664. iSchool Sports Network will be on the air tonight with all of the ball games across East Alabama. Randolph County will be playing in a jamboree tonight in Wedowee against Fayetteville. Wadley will play at home against Horseshoe Bend. Let's see. Woodland will be playing Victory Christian tonight in Woodland, and Hanley is on the road down in Valley to take on the Rams. All games will be at 7 p.m. this evening, and the forecast is pretty much the same for all 4 locations. hot. It's going to be hot with a very, very slight chance of a passing shower or thunderstorm. Good Lord willing, if the creek don't rise, we'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning with another edition of your Prime Time Forecast. Enjoy your Friday.
This has been your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College, the venue at 5 Points Farms and Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery. Dr. Don's Weather is supported by the Randolph County Commission, Heron's Tree Service, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, and Bama Diesel Repair. Be sure to like us on Facebook, share us with all of your friends, and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.